My dad was my trigger point. So that's what, for me, I felt I needed to rely on substance. Anything upper related for me was kind of like my cup of tea.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the #1 mental health and addiction podcast, the Hopeaholics. I am your girl, Natalie Eva Marie, and these are my boys.
I'm Chad.
Hi, I'm Shane.
Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and follow us on our socials and wherever you get your podcasts.
Got a new episode dropping every Monday and Thursday. Please come check it out.
This episode is brought to you by the Infinity Group. You guys, if you or a loved one is suffering, please call us today. The number is right here on the screen. We are here for you 24/7. Now, let's get into the episode.
Welcome to the Hopeaholics Podcast.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, this is awesome.
This is awesome.
We're so excited to have you here.
Well, it's even better for me because she's like a totally new person because I don't remember her at all in her last outfit. So it's like when a girls change outfits, I just forget who they are.
You're just like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear. I didn't recognize her at all. I had no clue.
You didn't?
No.
Oh.
Because the last time I saw her, she was in her jiu-jitsu outfit.
Yeah.
That was the only time I met her.
What is that jiu-jitsu outfit called?
A gi.
A gi.
Were you wearing a jiu-jitsu outfit in that video you showed me just
I was
about
wearing
15
a men's, what's it called? Leotard. Yeah. Mentardi. A mantardi.
Was it a thong?
You need to do a side by side.
It was a kind of a thong.
I said she said she was gonna do a side by side, and I said to do a collab with
Anna Pole, who is a better dancer. Well, I'm sorry.
Do you want to do a collab?
No.
You scared? The hate.
It's not hate.
It's embarrassing.
My mom is on my.
I don't look. It's not like I look bad.
Can you put it up on the screen?
What?
Heather said she wants to see it.
It's not like I look bad.
You'll never come back. You want to see him in a mankini?
Mankini, no. That's what it's called. Yeah, it's a mankini. That's funny. Could you imagine if I wore that out?
You should.
With a tutu around it?
You should.
That'll do. I need to get the fluff.
Yeah, then you would like be the fairy, tooth fairy.
Yes.
You know what we'll do? Remember last year a couple Christmases? Sorry, Heather, we're off on it. Way tangent.
Yeah.
Really apologize for this. The elf suit.
Yeah, I'll do the tooth fairy.
And then we can maybe Natalie will drop you off at a strip club.
Bro, I'm not going there.
No, you're not going to go in.
They'll never come out.
It's true. Well, they're going to close. They'll kick me out.
They'll call the cops.
Or my wife will show up. And she's got me on, what's it called?
House arrest.
Well, pretty well. Pretty well.
Oh, you mean she tracks you?
Oh, yeah,
Location.
She tracks me. Yeah, she knows.
It's safer that way.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
Accountability.
I agree.
Some people need it.
Welcome.
Heather.
Thank you.
Man.
Thank you.
You don't look tough.
Okay.
You got great skin. You're smiley. You're a happy person. And yet you're a killer. Good for you.
That's usually how it is.
Yeah.
The ones that you think that are
right?
Yeah, look at our special operators. A lot of the Rangers and stuff. You totally pass by them.
Never notice it.
Never notice them because they're your average build.
Yeah.
Very blendable.
Yeah.
And then they'll fucking kill you with your pinky.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Technique.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I agree with that. She looks like a killer. Don't let that smile right there fool you.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take whatever I can get, But it's what life.
Yeah.
Life does that to you. It either makes or breaks you.
Yeah.
So we met
last week?
a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You came down with a gentleman to
Dr. Brian.
Dr. Brian to do some jiu-jitsu and some other training with some of our
The Nim House
staff and clients.
Yeah.
And then after you were telling me about your life, and I was like, whoa, you need to come on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a story. So I'm glad that you guys agreed to have me on and come and share, because I come very much from, I feel, the things that we've gone through or the things that we're meant to teach people about how we overcame. Mm-hmm. And I had shared with you just about my recovery journey and what that looked like and how jiu-jitsu was a really big part of my recovery journey. and how it kind of kept me level-headed. It gave me a sense of accountability, and just going from like what triggered that to being in the depths of my own despair and then finding my way out is what we connected on. So
Yeah.
excited to share.
And you you found jiu-jitsu first, right? Before you found recovery, or were you already in recovery?
So I found jiu-jitsu after.
Okay, after.
So should I start with my
Yeah.
Start with your story.
Start with my story. So for me, what triggered my depths of my despair, as I'll call it, is my dad. So I'm adopted, and with my adopted parents, I got really close with my dad. My dad was the first one to get diagnosed with cancer, and that was really tough on me. I was in my younger 20s at the time, and losing him, it was always a huge fear of mine to lose somebody. And especially it being my dad, that kind of triggered me to not know how to properly put myself in a healthy environment. And so I started putting myself in more drinking, drugs, alcohol, with people, all of the things that don't necessarily fill our cup the way that God does, the way that, you know, like things that are bigger than us. And in that lasted for about like 2 to 3 years for me. And I was with my partner at the time, and it was his daughter that kind of like called me out on my stuff. Like, she's like, "Why are you so tired all the time?" I was like, I don't want to be this person. And so for me, that kind of gave me enough oomph to find something that was healthier. So I decided to do bodybuilding. I was like, I need to do something that's difficult for me, that requires discipline and is going to help shape my mind, because I felt I can't do it myself. I wasn't really spiritual at the time either. I believed in God, but I didn't believe in what God could do for me and what God does for me and what God did for me and pulling me out of that. And so I started doing bodybuilding, found out everybody takes steroids. Didn't know that. About halfway through the season, found out everybody takes steroids. And
You're talking about the girls, right?
I'm talking about the girls and the guys.
Well, I know the guys. That's a known.
And you could tell with the girls.
Yeah.
After that, like, I was like, I can see it now.
Yeah.
And then after I finished that, because I said I chose to do this, I'm going to finish this out. I'm going to transition into something more difficult. So a martial art or something crazy like American Ninja Warrior. And I decided to try jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu tends to show you who you are, where you are, and what you need to work on, and the things that you're already good at. And so for me, I had a huge ego problem. And so just diving deeper into jiu-jitsu and really just dedicating myself to that really helped pull me out of, like, you can't go to jiu-jitsu and be hungover. You feel like absolute, you know, not so great.
Dog poo.
Dog poo. Exactly. So that for me just kind of helped with my recovery journey and just keeping me disciplined, and it helps me today. It's always a day-to-day thing. So, yeah.
How did you find the rooms? Did you find the rooms, or how did you find recovery? Or you didn't find recovery?
So I didn't find the rooms for
okay.
recovery. So I, at the time, I was like, well, I don't need that. You know, I don't need to be around like stuff like that. And I don't see myself being that deep in it until like you have people calling you out on it and being like, you're not showing up to work, you're flaky, you know, I can't trust you, I didn't invite you because you always said that you're busy, and I know that you're not busy, you know. And so I never found the rooms. I found other things to help drive me towards a healthier outcome for myself.
She found better spirituality. She found community. Definitely community. Jiu-jitsu is community.
For sure.
It has all the similar stuff that the rooms do. And, you know, some of this stuff may even be healthier, because in the rooms we have a lot of donuts, sugar, coffee, cigarettes, vapes. What else do we have in the rooms?
Newcomers.
13th step.
Just saying.
Yeah, there you go. Do you know what the 13th step is?
Relationships.
It's a relationship in early recovery.
Never good.
Never good.
You know what? God is pushing me towards jiu-jitsu. He has been for the last month, and I've been fighting it.
Really?
Yeah, man. I
mean,
feel it.
you
I
know,
feel it.
when
I
after-
feel it in my bones.
After talking to Heather last the other day, I've been like thinking about it.
Bro, I'm telling you, I have
Because-
to do it.
Because
too.
like
You too?
Oh, I've been wanting to ever since like I sat with Jocko and like the boys.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
really got me wanting to do it, but then also they instilled kind of a little bit of a fear too, making sure that it has to be like the right
Place.
and
100%.
also to do it with individual,
I'm with you 100%.
what does that mean?
meaning individual, like one-on-one, so that I'm not in like a class, because
Yeah.
you can literally, someone can
Hurt you.
break you off.
Yeah. I
So,
agree. I'm doing it. I have to. In the next 10 days, I'm going to sign up someplace. If you guys want to find a spot, let's do it. I'm just saying. You know, I need to do it.
Come to
God's
Gracie
pushing.
Baja.
God's pushing me.
Baja Irvine, the community's there.
Yeah, God's pushing me towards it. It's just been sign after sign after sign after sign, and I've been saying no, 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 no.
See, and you know what? You want to know why I want to do it? Not and because
I know.
you can be a badass
Yeah.
in not that long of a time.
Yeah.
And most people who want to come up and, you know, confront you, they actually don't know how to fight.
No.
And to
jiu-jitsu
just
is more
know
subduing. It's more subduing.
that- yes.
And gently putting them down and walking away. That's what I like.
yeah, we got to gently put each other down
Yeah.
at the thing. Mm-hmm. And then my nephew, who's like a purple belt, wanted
Yeah.
to twist me up and put me in in his headlock. And
I
with his
tested
legs.
on my
Good, he
wife, the
did a
chokehold
rolling
on my
arm
wife.
bar. I was like, look at him go. But it's cool, you know, like it just, jiu-jitsu does that. Not only just for the moves itself, but just having the confidence to walk
Exactly.
out in the day-to-day, like a female, even
Yes.
males. You can make eye contact with somebody and it's kind of like, okay, I'm not gonna mess with that person. Or you say no, like you make your voice known, like
Yeah.
you allow your presence to be known respectfully, but it's also like, okay, if something does happen, I'm gonna do what I need
Respectfully, I'm going to take you down.
to. Yeah,
You know, respectfully, your arm might get broken.
respectfully.
Respectfully, I might put you to sleep.
But it does.
And when you wake up, remember that you fucked with the wrong person today. And I don't want it. I don't want it for that. I want it only for that reason. Just because.
I need it for my home. I got my wife is out of line sometimes. No, I'm just saying, you know, a little chokehold here and there. She wakes up, she'll learn. She'll know. She'll go, "What happened?" I'll go, "Hey, bro. I'm just saying, you were out of line."
This is where we tell the world that Shane's from Canada, and he does not represent the Hopeaholics in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know.
Definitely gonna have to put that disclaimer on
Yeah.
that reel he's gonna about to drop today. The Steve-O reel.
Steve-O.
Just think of Steve-O
In a leotard.
in a leotard.
He works hard for the money.
So growing up, how? So you were adopted.
Yes.
That's not easy. My friend was adopted, and it kind of affected his life. You know what I mean? Like, he took it. He was looking for his parents. He was always kind of negative to his mom and dad. They gave him a good life, but he always had something missing inside of him.
I have a question about that from that.
Yeah.
What he's saying. One, when did you know you were adopted? How long have you known you were adopted? Did you always know you were adopted?
Always knew I've been adopted since a young child. So like since preschool. So my parents adopted me in their mid 40s. My mom, beautiful white hair. My dad had little to no hair, right? And at school, I would get picked on because one, they would let me just dress however I wanted to. I grew up very tomboy. I thought being a female was weak or having like feminine traits, attributes. But come to find out, I was actually a lot closer to my dad because my mom had a lot of issues with her mom prior. That we can get into that. This is actually just a breakthrough that I had just recently with that. But I would get picked on because kids would be like, "Oh, your parents look like your grandparents." Like, "Oh, your grandma's here to pick you up." And I'm like,
Kids are so mean.
I was just like, what does that even mean?
And like, what does that even matter?
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
I was like, okay, well, and I would tell my parents, and then certain groups wouldn't accept me, and like they'd be like, okay, well, you have like grandparents, and my parents are younger, and so if you want to be in our group, you have to do this. And I'm like in preschool.
Yeah.
Like little gangs in preschool. Like, if you want to be a part of this group, you got to do this, And I'm just like, okay. And I would get in trouble. Then, just to kind of address what you were saying with people who are adopted, speaking from my own personal experience, you do feel like a piece of you is missing because a part of you feels like, okay, well, and I know my parents now, my biological parents, but, when you're younger, you start to question, okay, well, if they didn't want me or if they didn't accept me, then who's to say that the rest of the world can? Who's to say that these people who decided to take on this kid, if they would accept me as well? And I was growing up, I would throw in my mom's face a lot, like, why'd you even adopt me if you don't even care? And it's like this one of those things where it's just kind of like, little jabs. But never at any point, and I didn't know this, but up until 18 years old, you can return the kid.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And so after I turned 18, when my parents let me know, I was like, oh my God. I was like, well, thank you for not, giving me up to the state or, putting me in the system. And not to say that there's anything wrong with that. Just talking about my journey and what, I went through. But I did get connected with my biological parents. So come to find out, my biological dad never knew about me till I was 2. So I was already adopted out. My biological mom at the time didn't have the best background as well. The apple didn't fall far from the tree when I got older and started dabbling in drugs and alcohol and all of that. She was in that, and she was heavily in that, and she knew that she couldn't take care of me. And so therefore she said, well, I know I'm not capable. I'm not in the right community of people. I don't have the best support system. So I'm going to do what I think is best and give this kid up to people that can do it. And yeah, so my parents never lied to me. No one ever told me anything that wasn't true. Like, you're adopted. We love you just the same. We accept you. And yeah, having those questions answered for myself when I got older.
Right.
Like, I was like, it's just people being people. Yeah. We're all kind of kids in this lifetime for the first time, no matter what age we are. And so hearing their stories, like, I got to, let the little girl in me kind of accept that. And then also being the adult now, having gone through certain things, I'm just able to accept and receive that these people just are really just trying their best. And I think that stands true to anybody. I think we're all trying our best at a very specific certain point in time. And sometimes it's, it's good. Sometimes it's not so good. But yeah, so that's kind of.
Well, I want to say something. I really think your biological mom did the right thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know how many times I talk to my mom and say, yeah, that woman is unfit. She shouldn't have had children. I mean, people say that. And there are unfit parents. That's life. For them to register that and to do something about it that might be negative, but in the end turn out positive. That was a tough decision for her. It's not easy giving up a kid, ever, no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. You know what I mean?
Do you have kids?
I do 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old are they?
16, 14, and 7. Yeah.
Such good age.
Yeah, great ages. Yeah, all.
And his 7-year-old, their parents, her friend's parents, her friends, the 7-year-old, they say your grandpa's here.
Yeah.
Because he actually is
a grandpa.
You know
what I'm saying?
Happens.
It happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
I had to throw that jab in there because
that's fine. I don't
mind. He had a child at 51. You were 51,
I was
bro.
51.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was 51. I don't know what I was thinking. Well,
no, she's a cutie pie,
she's
man.
a cutie pie. She's great. I wouldn't change it for the world. So what is the relationship like today with your biological mother?
Good question.
Now, and I'm going to ask you another thing, because your father never knew about it till he was 2. I'm going to assume that he was a little distraught and upset.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And really wanted to be in your life. and loved you to no end, or still loves you to no end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Wow, good for you.
How old were you when you met them or knew about them or found them?
So I'm 30 now. So I met my biological dad first. I met him when I was about 24. I met my biological mom when I was 26. And so we're kind of just building that relationship kind of for lost time. My biological dad, so my stepmom, she found me on Facebook. And bear with me on the story here. She found me my freshman year of college on Facebook. She reached out to me, and I wasn't ready at the time. So I waited 4 years. I was 20 when she found me. Didn't reach out till I was 24. Found out they live in Vegas. Went out with my adopted dad to Vegas. Got to meet my biological dad for the first time. Now, this was something that I noticed, that when I would get nervous when I was younger, I would like do this with my hands. Like I would like play with my hands a lot and start doing this. My biological dad, when we met for the first time, we're just sitting here, he starts doing this too. And I was like, that's where I get it from. That's crazy.
That's nice.
I was like, that's
Good for
crazy.
you.
And
It's a hereditary thing.
I was like, what the heck? And
That's
so,
nice. That's nice.
yeah. Like, I
That's
was
like
this is
crazy
kinda
though
cool.
too, because that's like something that she'd never met him before.
Yeah.
It's not like something she ever saw.
Yeah.
It's just something that is
Genetic.
like a
Gene.
gene that is hereditary.
Totally.
And when you get nervous, you have a nervous tick.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
I like literally pick my cuticles. That's my nervous tick, and my son does the same thing.
My son plays with his hair, twirls it. I don't. My brother has did it his whole life. Twirled his hair his whole life. My son does the same thing since he was 2 years old. Twirls his hair. Got it from my brother. Bro, I've never
He
done
does
that in
look
my
a
life.
little bit more like David.
Yeah, he really does.
This is yourself.
Really.
Does.
Wouldn't put past the fucking guy either.
Your brother
gosh.
is jacked up.
Yeah, my brother. Fucking can't trust anybody nowadays. Anyways, let's focus on you. Forget my functional fucking family.
Well, it makes for some fun in between.
We can have like a musical interlude. And now we're back to the show.
Shane's,
Please, if you
we'll
haven't,
start doing a Shane's dysfunctional family interlude.
If you haven't yet, please subscribe.
in between.
Yeah. Do 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 do.
You bring out like one of your products or something.
Yeah,
and
right. We
market it.
should. Hi, this is Palmolive. Are your hands get rough while you wash? Are you wearing gloves?
Do you also have a dysfunctional family? Please buy.
Wow, good for you. So so the dad's wonderful in your life, loves you, things are great.
Yeah.
How was your stepdad in terms of the drive down to Vegas? Was he feeling?
That would be adopted dad.
Yeah, the
Adopted
adopted
dad?
dad. Was
Yeah.
he feeling jealous? Was he feeling? Did he say how was the talk? Was he warning you before, saying it might not be what you think? Just let's take it easy. If you know what I'm saying?
Let
Yeah.
him answer the question.
So my adopted dad, God rest his soul, he was very protective of me growing up. Like he would always be the first one to say something, because getting picked on continued throughout my life, and certain parents, certain kids, like he was always the first to say something. And at the time I would find that to be really embarrassing. And so now I know his intentions was just to protect me. So I told him, I said, listen, you're going to come with me, but I'm going to have you stay back. And he's like, are you sure? Like, what if I was like, I'm going to give you my location. I'll do like SOS. I'll do like 911. Like, in case something goes wrong, like I'll let you know, like I'll take a step out and just, or, like I'll do what I need to. But I was like, but I need you to stay back and just wait for me. Because I know your intentions are going to be to want to protect me. And if he says something that's triggering or you don't like it, or, like we're getting to know each other, let me have this journey and you be a part of it, but I need you to stay back here. So we like stayed at our hotel, and I went to my biological dad's house, found out I have two half brothers, really close with them, super cool. And it's like we have very similar senses of humor. Like we're just getting to know each other now. So it's kind of like, okay, like see what's good, what's not. But it's like very dark. Like we were like joking around. It's like dark senses of humor. Like,
That's
okay, like what should we expect? Like, you know, like, are we looking at Alzheimer's in the future? Like things like that, where it's kind of like that younger siblings. I never had younger siblings growing up. And so it was cool to connect with them. My stepmom, really wholesome woman as well. And then to fast forward to meeting my biological mom. So this kind of happened on a whim. And I will thank my ex for this, that his connection, he had a bounty hunter friend. And just one day he was like, hey, like I gave your information to him about your mom. He might require a little bit more, but let's see if we can find her. And I was like, oh my gosh. And what triggered it was Peaky Blinders. Like, have you guys seen that show?
Oh, it's the best.
Love that show.
Yeah.
When she's looking for her son, I was like, I wonder if I should start looking for my mom. And found a phone number and found an address. So called the phone number, wasn't her number. Sent a letter to the address, and I like typed it out. And I was like, hey, you know, this is my name, this is my phone number. If you want to connect, like, please, like, by all means, like, reach out. So I get a phone call, and I didn't answer it because I thought it was spam. And then I hear the voicemail, and the voicemail was like, hey, like, this is Michelle. You know, I just want you to know that I got your voicemail. Like, yes, like, I am your biological mom. You have 2 half-sisters and a half-brother. And I just remember just, like, listening to this voicemail. I dropped my phone, and it just, like, broke down. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this is crazy. It was just all those unanswered questions, you know? And I got connected with her, talked with her for, like, 3 hours. And come to find out, she lives in Aliso Viejo, so she lives pretty local.
That's awesome.
And it's like having an older sister. Very similar things as well.
How old is she?
She is in her 40s.
Okay.
So 18 years older than where I am now.
Wow.
So about 48.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's
About my age.
good.
3 years ago. I don't know.
Well, so Aliso
Anyway,
Viejo, 2 half brothers.
Have you met them?
Yeah, they're a great relationship with them, she said.
So on my dad's side, 2 half brothers.
Yeah.
Oh,
On my
you're
mom's
right.
side,
Sorry.
2 half sisters and a half brother. Met the 2 half sisters. Haven't met my half brother yet. So, yeah.
I have 2 half sisters and a half brother. I knew him though since birth.
I have 3 half sisters, and I want to tell you how I met the first one. It's weird, bro. I was at Strawberry's nightclub. It was like on a Tuesday night at Strawberry's nightclub. I hop into a taxi with my friend Lonnie, and some girl knocks on the door and says, "Hey, 2 girls. Hey, can we share the cab with you? Where are you guys going?" I said, "Yeah, fine. Hop in. We don't care. We'll take you wherever." They start talking. I don't know why Lonnie was talking to the girl. Says, "Yeah, my dad died when I was like 18. He was in a coma for 10 years." And my head peeked up. I'm like, "What's your dad's name?" She goes, "Johnny." I'm like, whoa. My friend Lonnie looks at me, and I look at him like, don't say nothing. I'm not ready. You know what I mean? And then 5 years later, we actually met. But that's how I met her in the car. Could you imagine the fluke?
Does she remember meeting you in that
100%.
car?
100%.
Wow.
100%.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That was,
So
that was God.
that was God. Yeah. Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, so I have 3 half sisters. I got a stepbrother and a stepsister. So I'm kind of in a similar situation. My dad died when I was like 6 years old. Motorcycle accident. Died 10 years later on my 23rd birthday. 15 years later. Yeah. So I have a similar. You know what I mean? Meeting these people for the first time.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's different.
It's different.
It's different.
It's scary.
It's one of those things where it's like I consider my family the ones who saw me from pretty much like ground zero all the way up until now. But it's also cool to have in a different stage of my life because I lost both my parents to cancer. And I will say watching my mom passing was the point in time for me where I realized that God is real. I saw her spirit go. And that was crazy. I don't know if you guys have any similar stories of, you know, maybe what brought you to God or a good sense of faith or anything like that. But for me, like, that also just kind of helps tie into, like, the recovery aspect of things and knowing that there is a higher power and knowing that there is something higher at play. And I feel just certain things like in my life, like losing both my parents to cancer, like something like that just brought me closer to that, kind of like a sub-rant. But yeah.
Wow. Two parents. So now when you say two parents, not the biological parents.
Adopted parents.
Both your adopted parents are now dead.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's heavy. You know, those are big losses. How did that, like, how long ago?
My adopted dad was about 4 years ago, and then my mom was about 2 years ago.
How old were they?
My dad was 69.
Young.
I was like, hey, Dad, what a great age to die. Good for you, you know? And then my mom was, that's how we would joke. Like, and then my mom was 73.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're only in your 30s.
Both very young.
Yeah, really young. And she's young. So to take that on, you really got to dig deep, you know what I mean, on God and other people. How did you get through those deaths? Like, take us back to your dad or your mom and
Yeah,
a lot of pain.
my dad was my trigger point. So that's what, for me, I felt I needed to rely on substance. Anything upper related for me was kind of like my cup of tea. Alcohol to kind of mellow me out, and doing that on repeat for quite some time. And, you know, I knew during that time, I was like, I shouldn't be here, but for whatever reason, I feel like I can't pull myself out. And then when my dad passed, probably like a couple months after, was my mom by herself. Now, I didn't know this, but most, I don't want to say all doctors, but most doctors, at least the ones that my mom saw, would tell her that, oh, when your spouse dies, you only have about 10 years to live. Now, I didn't really agree with something like that. I was like, well, it should be your choice. You know, obviously make healthier decisions, things like community, things like better sources of food, water, all of these things kind of made me start questioning a lot of things about health. And I was like, okay, well, I have to kind of be the pinnacle of that and start questioning things that I'm putting into my body and really be a testament to that. And so with my mom, when she got sick, I was like, okay, this is something that I've seen before. And this is something that I can prepare myself with my mind, body, and spirit. And so with my mind, a lot of it was, how can I just discipline my mind so much to where I know that I'm never going to turn back to something like that. If something triggers me, a death triggers me, somebody leaving, a loss, you know, any kinds of these things that would initially trigger me to begin with, I started to force myself to have a better sense of discipline with the body, putting better things into my body. Like, okay, why are there so many different waters, you know, with the foods, like pesticides, like all of these things that are so overlooked. I was like, this is something that I can get smarter in. And it's actually what, you know, I guess you could say like my life's work so far. What I really dive into and what I really like to share and educate people on. And with the spirit, I was open-minded to learning more about God and different religions and understanding what that meant. And I made a promise to my mom. I said, I'm going to be different this time. I'm going to be different than I was with my dad. And this is going to be something where you and I are meant to be present in the moment. And that my mom's cancer was actually a way for us to get closer together. And when I lost her, it was almost, I don't even know if this might sound dark, but it was kind of a relief, only because I know that she wasn't in pain anymore. I saw her take her last breath, and I knew that.
So you were there.
I was there.
See, that's important. Good for you.
I was there.
Good for you. That's wow. Good for you.
Like, that's how I would want to die.
Fuck yeah.
Like, with the people that you love, that you care about, being there, being present, giving you the grace to move on, because that's a reality of all of us, right? And so while we're here, how can we make the most of the time that we do have with the things that we've gone through, things that we've been through? That wasn't even one of the toughest things. Just recently, I lost my nephew to a drunk driving accident. And the guy was in his 40s going down 2-lane highway. He was drunk, went over the railroad tracks, hit, you know, my nephew's side of the driver's side of the car, and took my nephew out. And he was about to turn 19 at the time. That's tough losing a nephew. It's tough seeing my brother lose his son.
Fuck.
It's tough seeing my niece lose her brother. It's tough seeing like all of these things where it's just kind of it's made me very calm. So I appreciate the fact that you say that like you wouldn't assume that, you know, I wouldn't be a killer or anything like that, because it's really calmed me and mellowed me out. And to be able to have an opportunity like this to come on here with you guys and, you know, to get to know you guys, to like align with your stories. Like I listened to some of your podcasts already. Like it's really cool to know that the work that I've done prior has led me up to this point. The work that you guys have done prior has led you guys up to this point, and the things that you guys do, you know? And so it's, I've taken the pain in my life, felt that, experienced it, and allowed it to transition me into something better and greater that's bigger than myself. Because I know that my story, what I've gone through in different, you know, different areas can really help impact somebody, even if it's just one person. Then I feel like I'm doing my job, you know?
That's some good stuff right there, Lewis. Yeah, man. We kind of, I feel like there's like, we have two choices when the pain hits.
Yeah.
We can sit there and be miserable in it and stay there.
And do bad stuff.
Many people stay there.
Oh, yeah, bro.
And some people just let it be, like, debilitate them.
Yeah.
Or we can come out a butterfly. You know, because everybody, this life that we have is full of pain.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, the one thing, like, pain is, it's okay to feel pain. Like, it's actually a good thing. And I'm hearing you say this. I just want people to know that, guys, you can get through pain. Like
It is debilitating at times, though.
For sure.
It
You know what I'm
can
saying?
be.
It's just really, but I hear your words, and I agree with what you're saying.
Don't allow it to, though.
Yeah, it's tough.
Feel it.
Yeah. Fuck.
Don't mask it.
Yeah.
Don't hide from it. Don't run from it. Just allow yourself to feel it.
You got to get out. You got to share. You need self-help groups. You need the groups.
You need community.
You need community, bro.
You need
Oh,
God.
Yeah.
God is huge, man. You need God first.
Well, you think God? You can find God in the community.
You
though.
can find, yes. If
So
you don't
yeah.
believe, if you don't believe in God,
or if you're having
find
a tough
community.
time with Him. If you're having a tough time.
100%.
Yeah.
If you don't, because if you already believe in God, God is good. He's
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Boom. But if you don't, if you don't feel Him, you don't believe in
Yeah.
Him,
Hit the community.
hit the community.
God is there.
Like, and I always like to be clear. You don't have to find religion. God is not religion.
Yes.
Some people find God in religion, but God is, religion is man-made. God is
Peace of mind. Really, for me.
Kind,
Yeah.
loving, forgiving,
Yeah. Yeah.
Loving.
gracious.
Yeah.
and can love a lunatic
agree.
like Shane.
Oh.
And always forgiving.
I really like this podcast, and I want to tell you why, because I'm starting, sorry to go off at the tangent again, I'm starting another side hustle called Cancer Kindness Network. I have a nonprofit, and we help cancer patients with gym, and if they have low finances, we help them pay for their insurance,
Yeah.
things like that. We're also doing a podcast now on cancer patients, and final testimonies is where I really want to go. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm so interested in you and this.
Yeah.
I'm going to get your number and have you on the other podcast for cancer.
This is awesome.
Yeah, it's a deep subject.
So I guess from someone who's kind of starting out, right? And kind of wanting to do things that you guys do, right? Like more outreach. Like what is it for you guys? And maybe you guys can like speak individually on this, but what is it that you guys are aiming for, striving towards with the things, and then like where do you even start, right? Like very broad and general questions. So if you need me to ask a more specific question, then
I'm striving for
Global domination.
I was gonna say world domination of goodness.
Yeah.
love that.
Is that
Global.
what you just said?
Yeah.
That's funny that we said the same thing.
No, it's not.
That's I mean really like the big the
That's the
gigantic
grand,
Yeah.
picture. Like how do I reach every single human being in every single language across the world and let them know that there is
A way out.
a way out.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That there's love,
Substance
that
abuse,
there's
mental
laughter,
health, everything.
that you can actually continue to move forward, and you can love and you can laugh and you can hurt and you can cry
Yeah.
and you can feel guilty and shame and still be okay.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
we're
it's amazing.
supposed to feel all of those
Yeah.
things. That's the human experience. I mean, sometimes like, and I don't know about you, but it seems like, you know, you've done some soul searching. I can really see that with you, and you've had some loss, and I've had loss, but no loss ever hit me truly. You know, my grandma, family, until my son-in-law died from fentanyl. You know, that one was different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like one, I started thinking, well, that's not fair. That wasn't fair. Especially if you already knew my daughter's hand that she was dealt, right? Stuff like similar to you. I mean, I wasn't her adopted dad. I was her actual dad.
Yeah.
But her mom was a heroin addict. And I've had her since she was 36 days old. I relapsed when she was 9, abandoned her, you know, lots of stuff.
Yeah.
But it hit me in such a way though that I was already so deep into recovery and into my own healing that I was able to just feel these feelings and be okay every time, even the day of, and you know, watch my little girl blossom through it. And it's not been easy. You know, it's been 2.5 years for her, and her and I started a podcast together called Spit and Image, because she's the spit and image of me. And and all of these things they're happening because of the question you just asked.
Yeah.
Like we just want to help people.
Yeah.
To answer your question on like a simplistic way of like you starting on where to start,
Yeah.
and the easy and it's free is your platform, so social media. I would like suggest you, because you can just get on there, you can go on live, you can do, you can reach so many people that you wouldn't think that you could, and then connect with people that don't live in your area, and then that's how you kind of connect and then merge and then into all of the other kind of spheres, because it's endless, really. That's the beauty, because obviously there's pros and cons to everything. So the pro is, if there wasn't social media, I wouldn't have met these guys. I wouldn't be here today, you know? And that's a pro, because it's everybody has a platform that they can hopefully do good, not bad. Yep. But because there's a lot of that out there too. But I would suggest that, because then it's like you're taking your story and then putting it out there and then seeing where that goes. And God will take you where you're supposed to. You just follow his path.
Yeah. I just
That's
yeah.
good.
I mean, I had a lot of other things going on in my mind, but yeah. I would have never thought that I was going to be here. I didn't, you know. This wouldn't even I wasn't doing
Me neither.
I wasn't doing social media. Mine was like
I moved out of this state.
Mine was private, and I had like 48 followers, because when I relapsed, social media was just starting, and like I kind of fell in the eyes of my public, you know, in the drug and alcohol treatment industry. And when I got sober, I was like, I don't want that attention. And then my son-in-law died, and God was like, yeah, here you go. You're going to have it anyways. But when he died, and God came to me literally and was like, hey, I want you to build a platform to help other people. I I was like, okay. I didn't really think much about it except for I believe that God believes I'm ready to handle the pressure, whatever pressure comes from it. And because I now rely on him so much to be able to handle life on life's terms.
Mm-hmm.
And like Noah came to God and said, take the animals, God came to Chad and said, take Shane.
It was you, bro.
Yeah, he mentioned my name.
Yeah.
Well, there's no pressure. That's just a thing we put
Yeah.
false, and that's like the
Yeah.
devil telling you a lie, because God puts stuff on your heart and you're supposed to flourish and shine.
You're insanely authentic and kind and loving. That's all you need. That's all. That's all you have to be. Yeah, Heather.
Tell the truth.
Yeah.
Yep, your truth.
Yep.
Everybody. I mean, honestly, everybody's gonna relate, and except
for
for the ones that
sure.
don't, that are, soulless. Maybe. So I actually think there's people on this planet that don't have souls.
Well, they're recruited for him. Which team are you gonna pick?
That's a
He
good
has
one.
he has his players too.
I have a hypothesis or something, because I sometimes wonder though, does he have the ability to create? Because if he has the ability to create like a human,
No, I think.
but he
has
doesn't have the ability to create the soul. Because see, our
But he has
soul is what connects us to our higher power.
He has the ability to grab it though. So like you can go to the dark side. We've all been there.
I mean, I know. I see.
So it's
I
like
see.
you
I
can
see a lot of them
continue, you know what I mean?
up in the House of Representatives.
But
What are you doing today on a daily basis? Just to
to maintain. I like it because we always say it here, like, yes, we talk about 12 steps because like we that's what I do, but like there's not one size fits all of anything in life. That's nutrition, that's gym, that's whatever you're doing, that's business, entrepreneur, doesn't matter, being a mom, doesn't matter what you're doing in this world, there's not one way to do something, and that goes with sobriety as well. So I love that you didn't find the rooms and you chose to put down everything, because I think that's powerful for a lot of people, because immediately when it's like, oh, I have to go to an AA meeting or an NA or CA, it's like, I don't want to, so it's like you get those like hesitations. So what do you do, like Shane asked, like on a daily basis to maintain your
Sanity.
mind, body, and soul like on the right path?
Great question. So for me, I found that having a consistent morning routine, no matter what, whether it's sunny outside, rainy outside, someone passes, like something happens, something great happens, it's always the same. So having that consistency in the morning time, like just breaking it down, I literally write down, wake up. So God woke me up today and said, you have another day. I said, okay. So cross that off, get my body moving, maybe put some stuff away, take my vitamins, drink my water, and then I'll meditate. So I'll do some breathing. If you're looking for kind of like a quick cheat for breathing, like go listen to Wim Hof and I'll do that breathing technique, right? And then I'll do like a cold exposure.
Oh, nice.
So I'll go in the cold shower, get that going, and do some form of working out in the morning time. So sometimes it's a walk, sometimes it's stuff with shoulder bands, sometimes just something to kind of get my mind and body and spirit right, all in the very beginning of the day. Now, every day isn't perfect. It doesn't always, like, I don't always get to like get my reflections down, all of these things, but as long as I hit majority of them, then I feel good to go throughout my day and just kind of embrace whatever is meant to happen for me in that day. But yeah, I never went to any rooms. The first room I ever went to was one of my buddies. So he invited me to go with him to one of the rooms. He's in recovery, and that was the first time I'd ever been in there. And he's like, you can just say that you're there to support and like you're there like as a supporter. And so just listening to everybody and share their stories and kind of what was triggering for them, like especially with the ladies too. Like I kept to myself. I didn't really do much. I didn't tell anybody all the things that I felt during that time. And so just to be able to connect and go up, and I'm a big hugger with people. Like, you're going to feel me, and if you don't hug, then I think it's weird. But, you know, it's just like you can't fake the funk there. You know, not everybody's like that, and that's totally okay. But you're weird. No, I'm just kidding. You're not weird. But
Shane's a big hugger.
I'm a hugger.
I'm a big hugger.
I'm a hugger.
I can tell you guys are huggers.
Not you guys.
Huh?
I just don't hug them every day.
Yeah, I noticed.
Because I think that's creepy.
The last
weird.
hug you gave me was like a year ago.
You're like,
I gave Chad a hug the other day.
What? So I'm due. Come on, man.
I mean, you
Don't
gotta,
be
you
boner
gotta,
every now
you
and
gotta,
then.
you gotta make her cry, bro.
I made her cry like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but then you got all weird about it, and did, you know, when all she really actually wanted was a hug.
You
so.
saying I should have reached over the table and given
Yeah.
her a weird hug? Make it real awkward.
It's just when you come in, when you like,
When I come in low.
when you
When I
come,
come in-
when you come in with your
Crotch?
with your waist out,
When I
bro.
come in
That's
crotch-
when the girls
crotch
like,
reaching
they're like,
out.
bro. They don't.
Come
want-
on, bro.
They don't
Belly
want-
button out when you're hugging. That's my motto. You want to hug me? You're getting my belly button.
Oh my gosh.
Belly button to belly button. What's the problem? Anyways, yes, I like hugging. But sometimes it gets funny. You should have seen the hugs when I was single. Whoa, those were bad.
oh god,
Yeah, I would pick you up and twirl you around.
well, you're a big dude.
I'm a big
sure,
dude.
I'm sure people love that.
Half of them did. Half the time I got slapped.
But you know what? You just made me think of something because last night was the first time. So we opened up NEM recovery centers, right? So the first 4 are actually stepping into the next phase of their program, right? So I do it on purpose to the first time I meet them, and like every single time I come into the house, I hug them. So from day 1 to day 30 of last night, their hugs have drastically changed. And you just saying that, I feel like addicts or alcoholics is because we lack love for ourselves.
There you go.
So you don't even receive the love from somebody
Right.
else.
Oof.
And
That's
you've
a
noticed that with the hugs.
Yeah, I told them last night when I was like doing their little like kind of like send off.
That's cool.
Is and it just hit me right now is because we have such or at least myself, I'll speak on myself, is I didn't know it then until I got into the rooms and started doing like that like inner diving of the inner work of like very low self-esteem, didn't like who I was, all of the things like that maybe pretend on the outside, but really it's apparent with just that little bit of action from doing the like little I guess experiment from day 1. I got like even just like kind of almost like a like not even engage, almost like a, kind of like a like not worthy of one.
Yes, I understand exactly what you're saying.
And then to like last
They're
night,
feeling love now.
oh my god,
You taught them that. That's awesome.
I don't think I
No, you did. You opened that fucking door.
For sure.
That door was closed.
I love how like excited Shane gets sometimes. Like his hit when he does his, that's awesome. Like it's authentic.
Yeah, it's
real.
That love that they felt, that door was completely shut.
yeah.
You opened the door. That's what I'm saying.
And that's all that I wanted to do.
That
infuse love
changes
into
lives,
that
and that changes lives. That changes lives.
because everyone's deserving of it.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good. Good for you.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you just had that aha moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just by just saying the hugging thing, it just like dawned on me.
Yeah.
And then putting in like retrospection.
Yeah, man.
Hugs are great.
Human contact is important.
Well, it
you
is.
look up if a
You'll
child
die.
doesn't get human contact,
Yeah.
you're fucked. You're a sociopath.
Yeah.
You're a killer. You're
No, you can
You're
die.
gonna start eating dogs.
A baby will die.
Yes.
Baby will die.
There
Yeah.
you go.
It's crazy.
We're killing dogs anyways. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't do a ton of human contact,
I
but
don't
I
either.
just
I really don't.
I hug people because I got sober in the rooms, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
So like, but I'm also cautious because I can't go around hugging people at the office because.
I'm available.
Why do you have your hand?
I'm
Ew.
available every day for
Like,
a hug.
I-
for you. If you
I-
need it,
I-
I'm
He's
here.
like, someone please
Literally.
hug me.
I'm just saying, if you need a hug, front or backwards, it don't matter.
Ew.
I'm here for you. Well, I give a backwards hug every now and then.
But it is interesting because like, so you don't say like practice the traditional like a 12-step, right?
No.
But the primary like substance of people maintaining like a good healthy mind, body, and soul like experience in what I've seen is all relatively the same.
Yeah.
Like the routine, the morning time of, you know, whether it's meditation, some type of everyone usually has some sort of higher power.
100%.
Majority
and
is
she has
God.
a sponsor.
Oh,
Her sponsor, it's her jiu-jitsu leader, whoever her boss is at jiu-jitsu, who trains her. That's kind of like a sponsor.
No.
No?
That would be more so like a mentor.
Well, mentors are similar to
I
sponsors.
think the same thing. Sorry, I'm going the same thing.
Who do you look up to as a mentor, say, for your jiu-jitsu practice?
That is also a great question. So with the arenas that I step into, I always try to find people who have the results that I desire. And so I look up to a lot of people at my jiu-jitsu school, not just for the skill level, but sometimes it's the mindset. Sometimes it's them, like I'm having a bad day. Like if there's one thing about jiu-jitsu is that you feel people's energy because you're so close in contact, and it's like almost like we're hugging aggressively, right? The more that you spend time with these people, the more that you can tell when something's off.
Yep. And
so there's certain people that I really highly respect in there that aren't high-level competitors or, you know, like don't do comp stuff or whatever, but it's just their mindset and the way that they go about life. And they're like, I enjoy this for the routine of it. I enjoy it for the community aspect. So there's different levels of respect that I have for people that I look up to in that place. Obviously, you know, if you're a black belt, you kind of have that. But to really earn that, I feel all of our black belts and I'm not a black belt, but, you know, all of the black belt professors that we have in our community really are people to look up to for different reasons. Like they've done the work. Some of them do compete. You know, I do private one-on-ones with one of my professors that I highly respect because he has the results I desire, but because he also kind of comes from like crazy background too, and that's something that's relatable for me. If you know, like did you have like a not so easy life? And I think he has a recovery story as well, and you know, just kind of all of these things where it just makes us human. Like how can I relate to you on a human level, and how can I look up to you? Like don't try to dissuade me, don't try to like push me in the wrong direction. And I feel with maturity comes discernment, and we can kind of tell with certain things. And with the people that we don't necessarily know, we do question, that's where the power of community does come in. Because now you have people that you can ask, like, hey, you know, they said this. Is this something that you would recommend? And just finding like the people that you really do trust, but have the best intentions behind what you're doing, is where I've found that having mentors in different spaces, like in business and jiu-jitsu, have really elevated me to continue onward to my next levels, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And how often do you train?
I try to train at least 4 to 5 times a week, sometimes 6. And with my schedule tends to be all over the place, so I try to fit it in where I can. If I can't train, then being intentional with studying film. That was something that I wasn't really keeping myself accountable for. I am someone who's diving more into the competitor world. It's crazy out here, I will say. There's some really high-level competitor athletes, like male, female, where it's like before I had a huge ego problem. So I would walk in, I would lose, and then I'd be like, whatever, you know. But now it's kind of like, man, I lost with like some dignity, and like I can see that they were here, they were on time here, they were like 3 steps ahead of me here, and like this is really fucking cool, you know. And so, yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but
no, it answers my. I mean, yeah.
What color belt are you?
blue.
So how does it go?
So for adults, it goes white, blue, purple, brown, black.
How long does it take to go from like level to level?
On average, about 2 years at each belt level. About. Now sometimes
It's a long time.
It's like
We're doomed.
the long term.
Bro,
I'm doomed, not you. You got time. In 10 years, you can have your black
You're gonna
belt.
be a
In
black
10 years, I'm going to be fucking
dead.
You'll be pushing me in a wheelchair. No, I can't count on you for that.
No, you
it's
can, but you'll be still
68.
I'm
so
joking.
that's
Yeah,
young.
I'll be fine. I'm starting next week. I'm doing it. I'm done. I'm committing. And I'll start first, and then these guys will show up.
I want one-on-ones. I don't want to do a class.
There's people who start in their 50s or 60s.
Yeah.
Give me 10 years to get a black belt.
70s.
I'll go one-on-one. Sorry, Maren. I was joking. Okay, then.
But try it.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to wrestle jiu-jitsu. What do you call
Jiu-jitsu man.
Jiu-jitsu grappling.
Yeah, I'm
Grappling.
gonna grapple.
You're gonna have to grapple women.
That's fine. I'll fuck him. I'm not gonna let loose.
What?
I'm
What?
no, I didn't.
Was that a
no, no.
Freudian?
No.
Was that a
Like,
Freudian?
what in the world?
I'll fucking. I said I'll fucking give it to them.
No.
I
That sounds terrible.
Either way.
I'm
Either
sorry.
way, it's
I'm
not
sorry. I
good.
didn't mean that at all. Jesus
Any
Christ.
mat enforcers listening to this right
Seriously.
now?
They're going to be like, block this dude if he comes into your spot, please.
I'm coming after you.
I just, I would love for like him to go down and think he's gonna beat up like a
Girl?
120-pound girl,
yeah,
Yeah.
get waxed
and
up.
and get waxed up. But
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Oh my God.
It'd be
In
one of the
in
best
like 2
things in the
seconds,
world.
too.
And I'm fucking like this. I'm out.
No.
Oh, you won't even make it.
You won't even
like,
make it to
it'll
the
just,
tap,
Yeah,
bro.
you're going to go night-night.
Well, I mean,
It's like so funny for me because I enjoy it because the underestimating is just so.
If I get
huge.
knocked out, I'm gonna videotape my me passing out for sure.
Yeah. I'll
no,
be there.
we're gonna be
Yeah,
there.
you'll be
videotaping it,
passed out, bro.
Yeah, I'll go past out.
All good, dude.
I'll
No-
pass
I
out.
mean, you can.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, what's the big deal?
yeah.
I've been.
He's
over
like,
before.
I'm 240, bro. I can just muscle the girl, but the girl has so much technique
Yeah.
that she's gonna use your weight against you.
Yeah. Wow. I'm looking
Dude,
forward
you
to
know who
this.
is the savage? Jocko's daughter. She'll wax you up
For
in
sure.
like 2.5 seconds. And she's hell of young, way smaller than you.
Yeah.
Lights out.
I'm looking forward to this. I'm doing it next week. I'm signing up.
So the guy that was the black belt that came here. Mm-hmm. You remember that guy?
He doesn't
He
know
just-
anybody. Look at him. He's
I know the guy,
Dazed
not the
and
doctor,
confused.
not the doctor.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the doctor, but the other guy.
Yeah.
Yes, the guy who does competitions with the doctor.
I
Yeah,
mean,
the-
if you just saw that guy walking down
Exactly.
the street, you would not know
no, that he could do
that he could
No, no,
kill you.
no
Yeah.
chance.
That's the
No
best.
chance. You know.
But that's why they walk like no
I mean,
problem.
you look at
Yeah.
people
Still
like Jocko,
self-esteem,
and you're like,
confidence.
okay, yeah, Jocko's a badass.
Okay,
you
look
always-
at,
I
yeah, but look
always-
at Tim Kennedy.
I always
You'd
look
walk
at the
by
ears.
him.
No, you look at the ears. You see a little fucked up ear. You walk.
You're not wrong.
Let me
feel
see
like-
your ears. Are they fucked up?
The only ear that's messed up, you can't even tell. Thank goodness. I got
I look at the
cauliflower
ears.
on my right ear.
I look at
Oh,
the
you
ears
did?
right away.
Yeah, but
right
it was,
away.
like, here,
Yeah,
like on the inside.
yeah.
So thankfully, it cauliflowered where I can still look like a female. Because if I had on
Big
the
ol-
outside, you know,
That's how I knew that one Hawaiian guy when I shook his hand at the when I first met him. He wasn't that big, but I shook his hand and I saw his ears. I said, "Bro, you're a killer." He says, "How do you know?
how do you know?
How do you know?" But meanwhile, he's a brown belt or
Because
something.
your ears look like vegetables.
Because look at your fucking exactly, bro. I didn't say that.
But my nephew,
His ears
but
are a little
doesn't-
fucked
You
up.
don't always have to have.
No,
like,
my
it's
nephew,
not a.
my nephew drains his ears constant. Like if he,
Yeah, you
if
can stay
something-
on top of it for sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Can't you?
Yeah.
Either that,
A lot of
or
them
either
are
that,
just
or
like.
either that, or every time I go, I'm wearing those
Yeah.
wrestling.
Yes.
I'm gonna look like the biggest nerd.
Yeah.
No. A lot of people
Does
wear
A lot
them.
of people
Yeah.
wear it. It's pretty normal.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird, but it's super normal.
Super normal.
Wow.
The ones that have cauliflower are like, fuck it.
Yeah.
They're just tired
They're
of
in
it.
it. They're just
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like my wife and daughter need to do jujitsu.
It's good. It's good for females because it does, regardless. Like, if something were to happen,
Yeah.
because I don't care who you are, if a man approaches you in a situation.
Oh, we're getting on top. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get on top, and from on your back. If you're trained in jujitsu, you will lights out to me.
But it also gives you that confidence to do something because a lot of times you're just like, you freeze. You're
Yeah.
like so scared that you do
Yeah.
nothing.
Yes.
And it's like, no, that's not the.
That's no good.
So as soon as you do get approached, it's like you can actually do. It gives you a chance.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you illustrated that point too of freezing, because it's like fight, flight, or freeze. I was someone who would freeze.
Me too.
A lot.
Yeah, me too.
And I didn't know that was such a normal thing.
Yeah.
Until like in jiu-jitsu, right? Like I'm rolling with one
Sure.
of my friends, and she was telling me, she's like, why do you just stay here and accept a position, like someone's coming at me and I'm just doing this, like why do you do that? I was like, I don't know. And then that came to mind of just fight, flight, or freeze. That's a very real thing for people that we just kind of like waiting as a deer in headlights.
Yep.
Yeah, totally.
And so it kind of helps
Move through that.
Yes.
Push through that.
100%.
And like give you that, hopefully.
Fuck. I'm a
A better chance.
I am a possum. I turned into a possum. I did.
I don't know what does that mean.
Possum just stops.
Oh.
Doesn't move, pretends he's dead. You know, I did that once. I was in a car, guys were chasing me, and I fucking froze.
Yeah, but what about the time that you got all angry and punched that guy in the face in the parking lot of the...
True. I go either way. You're right. You're right.
You could go that way.
I can go that way too. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Shane just fucking punching some dude.
You're right.
Drive through.
You're right. Yeah. Wow, what a great podcast. I really enjoyed this. You know?
Yeah.
Me too.
Good for
This
you.
was awesome, man. Yeah.
Awesome.
Really happy for you. What's your profession right now? What are you doing?
I do a lot of work in health. So I do a lot of work when it comes to educating people on water. That is my biggest thing that I do. Also just looking into other business ventures as well. Always open-minded. But my main hustle is with the water. So that's what I do.
Nice. Good for you.
Yeah.
I'm a Kangen guy. You do
That's
Kangen?
Kangen.
So I've been doing Kangen for 10 years.
You have?
Love it.
Fuck yeah. I
I
bought
do.
the machine, cost me $6,000.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
that expensive?
Oh yeah. Machine cost me $6,000 or $7,000. I bought it 10 years ago.
Wow.
Kangen is the best water, pH up or pH down. You wash your hands.
They're only 3,000.
They
now.
probably went down,
No, I
but
don't know.
back
I don't
in the
know.
day.
She can
when they-
probably tell us how much they are.
Wow.
No, you're spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Worth it for you?
Oh, sorry.
Worth it for you?
Oh yeah.
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 I mean,
I wanna get it.
He's 58 years old, and
58,
he looks
yeah.
like he's 42.
You
Yeah.
have great skin.
Yeah, I do. You know what? My dermatologist tells me the same thing. Yes.
Yes. That's a
I
very
want
real
it.
thing.
Yeah.
I need to get it.
Yeah, the Kangen water. Maybe we get a sponsorship. How do we approach Kangen for Natalie to try to get a scholarship so we can get Kangen water here for the group? Maybe you can make an introduction. We could talk to some manager or something. See how it goes.
He's
Way
always
to put her on the
Yeah.
spot.
we gotta we're gonna have to run that through our agent.
Oh, that's right. Whatever. Heather, you are a breath of fucking fresh air.
Appreciate
Yeah,
you
man.
guys.
Great.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate you.
This is
Maybe we'll
most
eventually.
Shane's been
I know, totally
to a
engaged.
podcast
Yeah, ever.
ever.
Yeah, history made right today.
Yeah, history made.
Literally, he's usually quiet, and me and Chad are chatty.